The Bible holds many verses that have inspired generations, shaped cultures, and given strength to people during their most difficult trials. But when we search for the most powerful verse, one that resonates across every hardship and triumph, that verse is found in Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This simple yet mighty statement carries within it the force of transformation, endurance, and the promise of divine partnership. It's not merely a religious phrase. It is a declaration of personal power rooted in unwavering faith. It is the kind of truth that shakes your soul awake and challenges your mind to rise above circumstances, fear, and limitation. When you begin to internalize this verse, it changes everything about how you see yourself and your potential. You are no longer a victim of your circumstances, no longer bound by the opinions of others, no longer trapped by your past mistakes or failures. You become aware that there is a divine force within you, empowering you to stand tall, face your fears, and overcome the seemingly impossible. This verse does not say, I can do some things. It says, I can do all things. That's a bold and limitless statement. It's a verse that does not come with fine print or conditions. The only requirement is that you believe, that you lean on the strength of Christ rather than your own limited capacity. That belief is the fuel of greatness. If you want to break through walls, climb mountains, and push beyond boundaries, you must adopt a mindset that reflects this verse. The world is filled with distractions, setbacks, and people who will try to convince you that you're not good enough, not strong enough, not talented enough. But when you hold Philippians 4:13 in your heart, their words lose their power. You begin to realize that the only true limits that exist are the ones you've accepted in your mind. And once you remove those limits, you unlock the ability to tap into something far greater than yourself. The strength that comes from Christ is not ordinary strength. It's supernatural. It's the kind of strength that keeps you going when your body is tired, when your mind is overwhelmed, when your heart is broken. It's the strength that gives you courage when everything around you is collapsing. It's the power that carries you through grief, through sickness, through financial trouble, through rejection, through failure. It's the quiet confidence that whispers, you're not done yet. When you stand on this verse, you begin to see setbacks as setups for a greater comeback. You stop shrinking in fear and start rising in faith. Life will test you. You will be challenged in ways you didn't expect. But every time you are knocked down, this verse reminds you to rise. You may have to crawl before you can walk again. You may have to rebuild what was broken. But you will rise not because you are perfect or because you have all the answers, but because Christ is your strength. That is what separates those who merely survive from those who thrive. Thriving begins when you let go of relying solely on your own strength and start walking in the confidence that comes from God's presence in your life. This verse is not just for those who call themselves religious. It's for the dreamers, the fighters, the visionaries. It's for anyone who dares to believe that there's more to life than just surviving. It's for those who want to make an impact, to leave a legacy, to rise above mediocrity. It's for the person starting from nothing. It's for the single mother trying to make ends meet, the entrepreneur building a vision from scratch, the student struggling through failure, the athlete pushing past pain, the addict fighting for recovery, the person battling depression or anxiety. This verse speaks to all of them. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Sometimes the greatest battle is not against the world, but against yourself. It's your doubts, your fears, your negative self-talk. It's the voice in your head that says, I'm not enough, I'll never make it, why even try? But when you root yourself in this verse, you start replacing those lies with truth. You begin to say, yes, I've made mistakes, but I am not my past. Yes, I've been rejected, but I am still worthy. Yes, I've been knocked down, but I am not defeated. I can do all things through Christ. Those words become a shield for your mind and armor for your soul. Success is not born in comfort. It's forged in the fires of adversity. And when you walk through those fires with the knowledge that Christ is strengthening you, you don't come out burned, you come out refined. Your faith becomes stronger, your vision becomes clearer, your will becomes unstoppable, and the best part, you realize that you're never alone. The strength you carry is not temporary, it's not borrowed, it's permanent and eternal, because it comes from the one source that never runs dry. Even when you feel weak, when you feel like you have nothing left to give, that's where the power of this verse truly shines. Because it reminds you that your weakness is not a disqualifier. It's an opportunity for God's strength to be revealed. In fact, it's often in your weakest moments that the greatest breakthroughs happen. That's where humility meets power. That's where surrender meets victory. When you say, God, I can't do this on my own, that's when heaven steps in and says, you don't have to. Don't underestimate what you can accomplish with divine strength. Don't settle for a life of fear and regret when you have access to the power of faith and action. This verse is not just a comfort, it's a call to action. It's a challenge to rise, to move, to try again, to keep going. It's the permission to dream big and the power to make those dreams a reality. It reminds you that you were never meant to live an average life. You were created for something greater, and that greatness is activated the moment you believe. What would your life look like if you truly lived as though you could do all things through Christ? What goals would you chase? What fears would you face? What excuses would you drop? That kind of living requires courage. It requires discipline. It requires a mindset that's focused not on what's lacking, but on what's possible. And with Christ, anything is possible. You are capable of overcoming every mountain in your path. You are strong enough to push through every storm. You are wise enough to make the right choices, brave enough to stand alone if necessary, and persistent enough to finish what you start. Not because you're perfect, but because you are empowered. Because you are connected to a strength that never wavers, never weakens, and never fails. That is the power of Philippians 4:13. This is not a passive verse, it's an active declaration. It requires you to act in faith, to speak in faith, to walk in faith. It's not about sitting back and waiting for things to change. It's about standing up and being the change. It's about taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. Because when you move in faith, you open the door for miracles to happen, and when you trust in that strength, the impossible becomes possible. So wherever you are right now, whatever you're facing, remember this: you are not alone. You are not weak. You are not incapable. You are filled with divine strength. The same God who created the universe dwells within you, and with him you can do all things. That dream that seems too far, you can reach it. That habit you've struggled to break, you can overcome it. That relationship you want to restore, it can be healed. That pain you've carried, it can be turned into purpose. Don't let the world define your limits. Don't let your past dictate your future, and don't let fear control your choices. Let faith lead, let truth guide, let the power of Christ fuel every step you take. When you wake up in the morning, speak it: I can do all things. When doubt creeps in, declare it: I can do all things. When you face opposition, remember it: I can do all things. That verse is your battle cry, your anchor, your daily reminder that you are never powerless. This life is short, but it's also beautiful, and it's filled with opportunity. Every moment is a chance to rise higher, love deeper, give more, and believe bigger. Don't waste your days playing small. Don't waste your potential doubting yourself. Step into every challenge with boldness, knowing that you were born for this, that you have what it takes, that Christ in you is more than enough. Let the world be amazed by what God can do through a person who simply believes. Let your story be a testimony of what's possible when you choose faith over fear, hope over despair, and action over excuses. Philippians 4, 13 is more than a verse, it's a lifestyle, a mindset, a mission. Embrace it, live it, and watch how your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. You can rise again, you can heal, you can succeed, you can lead, you can endure, you can become, because you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Believe it, speak it, live it. Let nothing stop you, let nothing break you. Let nothing hold you back. The most powerful verse in the Bible isn't just a promise, it's a personal revolution waiting to happen inside of you. So start today, start now. Step forward in power, because you can do all things. Even when the journey becomes difficult, when progress feels slow, and when the night seems longer than the day, hold fast to this truth. Christ in you is strength. There will be moments when everything around you seems to scream, give up. When your prayers feel unanswered and your strength feels depleted, that's when this verse becomes more than just words. It becomes a lifeline. It reminds you that the strength sustaining you does not come from your own capacity. It comes from an endless, eternal source. That's why you keep going. That's why you rise again, not because you haven't been knocked down, but because you know who helps you stand back up. Think about how many people gave up just moments before their breakthrough. Think of the times you almost walked away from something great because fear told you it was impossible. Now think about the future version of yourself who never stopped believing. The person who kept repeating, "I can do all things through Christ," even when life was uncertain, unfair, and uncomfortable. That person is strong not because they have it all figured out, but because they are anchored in the truth that strength does not run out when it's rooted in Christ. You don't need to be perfect to move forward. You just need to be willing to try again, willing to believe again, willing to keep going even when it hurts, willing to look in the mirror and say, "With Christ I am enough." That willingness, fueled by divine strength, turns ordinary people into extraordinary warriors. It turns fear into faith. It turns anxiety into peace. It turns pain into purpose. That's what this verse activates in you. When you live with the mindset that you can do all things through Christ, you become unstoppable in your purpose. You no longer operate with hesitation or timidity. You don't second, guess yourself every step of the way. You move with confidence, not arrogance. You walk with boldness, not pride. You act with courage, not carelessness. You trust that God's strength will show up in every moment you need it, and it will, again and again. This verse empowers you to dream beyond limitations. Why dream small when the God who created the heavens and the earth is living inside of you? Why settle for average when extraordinary is possible? The world doesn't need more people playing it safe. The world needs more people who believe that through Christ they can build businesses that serve others, start movements that change lives, create families full of love, overcome addiction, walk through grief, and rise from rock bottom. It doesn't matter what your past looks like. What matters is what you believe today. You may have failed 1,000 times, but you can still succeed. You may have been labeled by others, but that label is not your identity. You may have started late, but you are not behind. This verse is your permission to let go of all the excuses and start moving forward with faith, not just for your own sake, but for everyone whose life will be impacted because you chose to rise. There's someone out there who needs your story. They need your strength. They need your example. When you live out this verse boldly, you inspire others to believe they can too. You don't even need to say a word. Your life becomes the message. People will look at you and wonder how you keep going, how you stay strong, how you keep showing up. And your answer will be simple: it's not me, it's Christ in me. That humility wrapped in strength is what makes you powerful. This verse also helps you face the unknown. Life is full of uncertainty. Plans change, people leave, doors close. But through it all, this truth stands firm: you are not powerless. You are not helpless. You are not abandoned. You have access to strength that is unaffected by circumstances. And that strength is the reason you can keep building, keep believing, and keep walking forward even when the path is unclear. Faith doesn't mean everything will be easy. Faith means you believe anyway. You trust that if you take one step, God will give you the strength for the next, and then the next. And before you know it, you'll look back and realize you've climbed mountains you once thought were impossible. You'll realize that every time you were on the verge of quitting, grace showed up and carried you through. That's the power of Christ strengthening you from the inside out. And don't wait for perfect circumstances to start living this verse. Don't wait until you feel ready, until you're no longer scared, until the timing feels right. Start now. Start scared. Start unsure. Start with trembling hands and a pounding heart, because when you take that first step in faith, God meets you there. He multiplies your effort, strengthens your resolve, and opens doors you couldn't open on your own. He gives you clarity as you move. He gives you peace in the storm, and that peace, that unshakable peace, is proof of His power. Every moment you choose to believe in this verse, you get stronger, not always in ways the world sees, but in ways that matter, in resilience, in courage, in patience, in faithfulness, in humility. You grow roots that go deep and wings that stretch wide. And those qualities prepare you for greater levels of influence, impact, and purpose. Let Philippians 4:13 be your internal anthem. Let it echo in your mind when you wake up in the morning. Let it guide your actions when challenges arise. Let it lift you up when you feel down. Let it center you when you're overwhelmed. Say it until it becomes a part of you, until it becomes your first response to adversity, until it becomes the lens through which you see every opportunity, every struggle, every relationship, and every goal. You are not just surviving, you are being shaped for greatness. You are not just making it through the day. You are growing stronger with every step. You are not just enduring hardship. You are building a life of substance and strength. And every time you choose faith over fear, every time you choose to try again, every time you keep going when quitting would be easier, you prove that this verse is true. You are living proof that you can do all things through Christ. And remember, this isn't just about personal success. The strength you receive is meant to be shared. It's meant to lift others, to serve, to inspire, to bless. Use your strength to speak life into others, to encourage those who are struggling, to remind others of their worth, their potential, their power. That's how you create a ripple effect of faith and transformation. One person living out this verse with boldness can impact generations. So don't hide your strength, don't downplay your faith, don't shrink your vision. Step fully into the truth of who you are and whose you are. Let your life be a declaration of what is possible through Christ. Let your actions speak louder than your fears. Let your perseverance shout louder than your pain. And let your strength, the strength that comes from God, be the force that moves mountains and transforms lives. You are not defined by your lowest moments. You are not finished. You are still becoming, still growing, still rising, because Christ is not done with you. His strength is perfect in your weakness. His power is present in your pain. And His love is fueling your fight. Every step you take, He's with you. Every challenge you face, He's beside you. And every dream you dare to pursue, He's empowering you. You can do all things, not by chance, not by luck, but by divine strength. You can rise, rebuild, overcome, and become. You can love without fear, give without limits, lead with purpose, live with passion, and walk in peace. This is your time, your moment, your mission, so move forward, not someday, but today. With Christ as your strength, there's nothing you can't do. Believe it, declare it, live it, because Philippians 4:13 is not just the most powerful verse in the Bible. It's the most powerful force inside of you. And with it, you will not only change your life, so walk boldly into today, tomorrow, and every day after that with a heart full of faith and a spirit ignited by divine strength. Don't wait for someone to hand you permission to live fully. God already did when He sent His Son. Christ didn't die for you to live small, anxious, timid, or stuck in fear. He died and rose so you could rise too. into freedom, purpose, power, and peace. Every time you remind yourself of Philippians 4:13, you're tapping into that resurrection power. You're no longer just living a human life, you're living a divinely empowered one. The world might try to measure you by your appearance, background, education, or bank account, but heaven measures you by your heart and your faith. The size of your God determines the size of your belief. And when you truly know that you are filled with the strength of Christ, you stop asking for permission to dream big, you just do it. You stop explaining your vision to people who can't see it, and you start building it anyway. You stop apologizing for being different and start celebrating your divine design. You were made for impact, not shallow, surface-level existence, but deep, lasting legacy. You were created to rise above mediocrity and show others what's possible when someone lives fueled by faith. This world is hungry for light, for hope, for truth, and that's exactly what you carry inside of you when you walk with Christ as your strength. That's what makes you unstoppable. That's what makes you a force to be reckoned with. You're not ordinary. You are a vessel of divine purpose. Let your pain become a platform. Let your scars become symbols of strength. Let your past be your testimony, not your limitation. Nothing you've been through will be wasted when God is your strength. Every setback becomes a setup. Every failure becomes a foundation. Every closed door becomes divine redirection. That's what happens when your life is grounded in Philippians 4:13. You're no longer at the mercy of your circumstances. You're powered by something greater than anything life can throw at you, and when you fall, and you will fall, you don't stay down, not because you're superhuman, but because you have a supernatural helper. That's the difference. You get up, dust off the disappointment, and press forward with fresh faith. You learn, grow, and let the setbacks strengthen your character. That is what this verse gives you, the capacity to bounce back again and again, no matter what. There's no deadline on your destiny. You haven't missed your moment. If you're still breathing, God is still working. You haven't been disqualified. In fact, you've been prepared. Every hardship, every trial, every sleepless night, it's been forging something in you. Something strong, something unshakable. And now, more than ever, it's time to live like it. You don't need to compare yourself to anyone else. You don't need their timeline, their approval, or their applause. You only need the strength of Christ in you, which you already have. And when you truly accept that, the game changes. You're not racing others. You're running your race in your lane at your pace, empowered by God Himself. That's where peace lives. That's where purpose thrives. Too many people live stuck in fear, doubt, and indecision because they've never fully believed the truth of Philippians 4:13. Don't be one of them. Let this be the day you say enough is enough. No more playing small. No more living beneath your calling. No more waiting for perfect conditions to move. From this moment on, let your life be proof of what happens when someone truly believes. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Use that strength to forgive when it's hardest. Use it to love the unlovable. Use it to stay calm in chaos. Use it to finish what you started. Use it to create, to lead, to build, to serve. Use it to fight for your future. Use it to show the world that faith is not weakness. It's power. When the voices of fear get loud, answer them with faith. When the doubts creep in, declare the truth. When the enemy whispers lies, shout louder. I can do all things through Christ. Speak it until your soul aligns with it, until your body moves in harmony with it, until your mindset reflects it, until your entire being radiates that truth. Because the moment you believe it fully is the moment you begin to live freely, and freedom is your birthright. Not because of who you are, but because of whose you are. You are a child of God. You are not alone. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You are equipped. You are filled with strength the world can't understand. Strength that doesn't come from physical power, but from spiritual certainty. Strength that endures through trials, rises in tragedy, and rejoices in triumph. So live like it, speak like it, act like it. Make decisions like you believe you can't lose with Christ by your side. Be brave enough to start, strong enough to keep going, and humble enough to give God the glory when you win. Because you will win, not always in the way the world defines it, but in the way heaven does. With peace, with purpose, with eternal impact. Don't just admire this verse, embody it. Let it become the way you lead your family, the way you build your business, the way you face your challenges. Let it be the voice that silences fear and fuels resilience. Let it guide your every decision, frame your every thought, and shape your every step. Because the strength it offers is real, available, and alive inside of you right now. And when people look at you and wonder how you keep going, how you remain so steady, how you accomplish what seems impossible, you'll smile and say, "It's not me, it's Christ. I'm just the vessel. He's the power." That humility mixed with fire is what will open doors no man can shut. It's what will give you favor, wisdom, endurance, and grace for every assignment ahead. So don't hold back. Run into your future with this verse as your anthem. Let it carry you through the storms, through the doubts, through the pressure. Let it carry you higher, deeper, further than you've ever imagined. Because with Christ you are limitless, you are capable, you are powerful, you are unstoppable. Today you have a choice. You can live like you're still waiting for something outside of you to change before you believe. Or you can live like you already have the greatest power within you. Let this be the day your faith comes alive. Let this be the moment you fully embrace Philippians 4:13, not just as a verse to memorize, but as a reality to live. Because you can do all things, not someday but today, not maybe but surely, not in your own strength but through Christ, who gives you more than enough grace, enough peace, enough courage, enough love, enough wisdom, enough strength. So rise, speak, move, build, serve, love, lead, and never ever forget. Christ is your strength, and with him there is nothing you cannot do. This truth, once buried in the pages of Scripture, must now be written on the tablet of your heart. It must become your rhythm, your mindset, your instinctive response when life pushes against you, because life will push, it will test you, it will try to make you forget who you are and what you carry. But that's exactly why you must keep this verse close, not just on your lips, but in your actions. When the pressure builds, you don't retreat, you rise, you don't fold, you focus, you don't panic, you press on, because the one within you is greater than anything outside you. Philippians 4:13 is not a feel good phrase, it's a foundation, it's a battle cry. It's your anchor when the waves rise and your fuel when the journey feels long. It's the reason you don't fear the future. Because your future isn't hanging on chance. It's held by the hand of God, the same God who strengthens you with every breath. And that strength doesn't show up only in the big moments. It's in the quiet victories too. The moment you choose patience over anger, the moment you forgive when it's not deserved, the moment you take the first step toward a goal no one understands but you, the moment you resist temptation, the moment you speak up, the moment you stay when walking away would be easier. These are not small things. These are evidence of divine power working within you. Some days that strength will feel like fire. Other days it will feel like a whisper, but it will always be enough, because strength from God doesn't run on emotion. It runs on truth, and that truth is eternal, unwavering, and undefeated. It is what carried David to face Goliath. It is what lifted Joseph from prison to the palace. It is what sustained Esther when she risked everything to save her people. And it is what lives in you right now. Your calling may be bigger than your comfort zone, but it's never bigger than your God. Don't wait until you feel ready to step into what's already yours. Begin with what you have where you are, and let the strength of Christ do what only it can. It will stretch you, it will shape you, it will sustain you. You'll be surprised how far you can go when you stop relying on your own strength and start drawing from His. And yes, you will face resistance. Growth always invites it. But resistance is not the enemy. It's confirmation that you're moving in the right direction. It sharpens your faith. It tests your resolve, and it reminds you that you weren't created for comfort, but for impact. You weren't built to coast. You were built to climb, and God's strength is the rope that keeps you moving forward, hand over hand, one brave reach at a time. Let every challenge remind you of the strength you've already been given. Let every delay remind you that preparation is happening in the waiting. Let every failure remind you that your story is still being written. God hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't skipped you. He's strengthening you. In every hidden hour, in every silent prayer, in every moment that feels like nothing is happening, something is happening. And when it breaks through, when the fruit finally shows, you'll realize it was His strength carrying you the whole time. Be fierce in your faith. Refuse to shrink back. Refuse to play small. Refuse to let fear speak louder than truth. The voice of fear may be loud, but it is not Lord. Let God's word be the final authority in your life. Speak it when you're tired. Declare it when you're afraid. Live it when no one else does. Be the one who stays faithful when everyone else gives up. Be the one who stands strong not because of ego, but because of Christ. You don't have to chase strength. You already have it. It's alive in your spirit. It's encoded in your purpose. It's activated by faith. Every time you choose to believe, truly believe, Philippians 4:13, you realign your life with the unlimited power of heaven. And when that happens, the impossible starts to bend. Mountains start to move. Paths begin to clear, not by might, not by power, but by His Spirit working through you. And remember, this isn't just about personal breakthrough. It's about being a vessel, a light, a voice, a living reminder to others that they too can do all things through Christ. Your faith is contagious. Your resilience is a message. Your joy in suffering is a sermon. Your life, lived boldly, is a beacon for others still trying to find their strength. So don't hide your journey. Don't silence your story. Let the world see what it looks like when someone believes God's word more than their own emotions. Let them see what happens when a soul catches fire with the truth of Philippians 4:13. It changes everything. It turns ordinary people into purpose. Driven warriors, it awakens hearts. It revives dreams. It restores hope. This is your legacy, not how much you achieved, but how much you believed. Not how perfect you looked, but how deeply you trusted. Not how easy your path was, but how fiercely you walked it in faith. You're not just building a life, you're building a testimony. And that testimony will echo for generations, declaring they believed, they endured, they overcame, because Christ was their strength. So here's your moment right now, not tomorrow, not next year. Now breathe in the truth, exhale the doubt, stand tall, walk forward, say it with boldness. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and mean it. Let this be more than motivation. Let it be a divine commission. An eternal truth, a daily declaration, an unshakable foundation, because once you believe it, really believe it, you'll never be the same. You'll walk differently, think differently, live differently, because you'll know with complete certainty that your life is powered by a strength that cannot fail. You were created for more. You were chosen for such a time as this. You were designed to shine. And with Christ in you strengthening you, there is absolutely nothing you cannot do. So rise up and live like it. Every single day, you can, you will, because Christ is your strength, and that changes everything.